Last video we covered hearing in R.E.P.O, so obviously now we're gonna do another sense. Shopping. Now, I'm not going to be covering what items you should and shouldn't get because that isn't really the shop. I'm going to be covering how the actual shop works, how some prices change, how stuff like item banning works, and just generally a deep dive into how the code behind all of this weird enigmatic shop skeleton thing works. Seriously, what is this thing supposed to be? To understand how items spawn in the shop, first we have to understand item pools. No, not that. Wait, actually bring that back. That could be good for the shop loads. It'll go through every item in the game. Grenades, mines, upgrades, drones, orbs, crystals, health, everything. It'll place all of those items into 4 different pools. These pools are item upgrades, health packs, power crystals, technically called consumables, so maybe the devs are trying to do something there. And then a pool for everything else. For each slot in the store, an item will try to spawn. It'll spawn in 8 items from the everything else pool, and then as many crystals as possible. Then it'll place 10 upgrades and 6 health packs for a total of around 27 objects per shop. Funnily enough, if you look in the code, the default value for how many upgrades and health packs should be spawned are 3. Imagine a world where the shop spawns with 3 upgrades. Power crystals and everything else can spawn on the 2 large shelves in the middle. However, sometimes if the everything else pool is a cart, it'll spawn on the edges of the shop. Health packs and item upgrades will spawn where they're designated to. You've played the game, I hope. If the shop can't find any items and crystals to place, it will just go out of stock and not regenerate anything. Wait. Out of stock, regenerating? Are shops not completely random every time? Is there a way to get specific items you want for every pool? Well, we're getting ahead of ourselves. There's still more spawning to talk about, and if you've seen tips of the game online at all, you probably know about the secret shop. The secret shop items spawn separately from the normal shop items, so 27 items will spawn in the normal shop regardless of what happens in the secret shop. A total of 2 items so far can spawn in the secret shop: human grenades and duct tape grenades. They both have a 1 in 3 chance to spawn when the shop loads. Pools also determine the price scaling of items. No items in the miscellaneous pool will scale, while health packs and crystals take the boring route and just multiply by how many rounds have been played. Upgrades work a little bit different. Upgrades multiply their value by 1.5 every single time they're bought. Upgrades can also get discounts depending on the amount of players in your lobby, is what I would say if Sebiwork didn't forget to actually spawn the item with that discount. See, the price is calculated twice in the game. This is because of a hidden feature where there's a 25% chance that if items are too expensive for you, they won't spawn in the shop. This requires the price to be checked once before the item is actually spawned. So it does all the math it needs to, but this math is done differently from the way items normally spawn. So when the item gets to actually spawning, they just forgot to give the item its discount. I made a bug report for this on the R.E.P.O Discord, so I'll give it a link down below if you're in it. Make a few reactions so the devs are aware, and hopefully make upgrades in multiplayer actually viable. Alright, we've added an item to the shop and we've given it a price, so now let's buy it. Alright, we've bought it. Wow, I sure love my item. I could really use a second one. But guess what, fucker? You can't! Once you take an item out of a pool, it will never go back in until it's destroyed. Obviously, there could be copies of this item inside the pool, but if all those copies are also taken out of the pool and not destroyed, then the item will just never show up. And the only items that can be destroyed are crystals, grenades, mines, health packs, upgrades, all those things that are, consumable. This is tech that's used in speedruns to get strength as early as possible. If you want to use this yourself, see what item you want and then start taking out all the other items in the pool so that the item you actually want has a higher chance of spawning. For example, say you want a specific drone or a specific drone, and you can take out some of the cheaper stuff like grenades or the rubber duck, and once you've gotten rid of those, your item will have a significantly higher chance of spawning. And obviously, as stated before, this can work with health packs and upgrades. You can also technically do this with crystals, but there's no real reason to, because there's no special crystals in the game, at least not yet. And as mentioned before, if you take every single item out of the main item pool and the crystal pool, the upgrade and health pool will just not spawn and the shop will go out of stock. Wow. This is the only time this game has been actually eerie. I don't know how or why, but you people went fucking feral over this video, and I cannot be more thankful. Jesus Christ. I plan to do more R.E.P.O videos on random topics I find interesting that could hopefully get new tech discovered, explain already existing tech, or help the developers fix bugs, apparently. However, I am also a Minecraft channel at heart. I really like the game, and I have a big video planned for something related to that. So this channel isn't being completely overtaken by R.E.P.O. I also am working on my own game, and I kind of want to do some deep dives into games like Lethal Company to try and understand how they manage to be so scary. Definitely leave a comment or whatever the fuck if you want to see that, because I really want to do that one. I might actually just do it without comments. I like that idea. Bracken! Oh my god! No! Look behind you! Look behind you!